It's Run DMC, Run CNC, and Jam Master C. It's all C's.
Jam Master H. Higgins. What's your other C for?
It's just all about the C's, the Craigs and the Koreans.
The C, Andy.
Yeah.
Now that road might be muddy. I'm not sure. I prefer it.
But it is.
Oh, you want to just stay on the main road then?
Yeah. We're out searching for critters because apparently they're everywhere.
Lots of critters tonight.
Yep. It's a nice still evening. There's no wind.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's 41 degrees, but it doesn't feel very cold because no wind.
Yeah, and there's like hardly any sounds. When I came out here before, there was like no sound at all. It was eerie.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
There's a shotgun shell.
Oh, I see those all the time.
They're shooting right next to our house.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter. How you doing this evening? We're just out for a stroll because we're going to walk off some of that chocolate that we've been eating for Christmas.
Oh, so much chocolate. Why does everybody give you chocolate at Christmas?
Yeah, it's not bad. 41. How are you doing up there? You still got quite a bit of snow, I imagine.
Where's he at?
New York.
New York City.
The people in Buffalo have got it really bad.
I know they're saying like now it's supposed to thaw, so they're probably gonna have like, I don't know, flooding problems because it's gonna be a ton of water now everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't rain, they'll probably be all right. But it's gonna be a big mucky mess, that's for sure. I saw a neat story tonight at your mom's house.
Oh yeah.
We should cover it on U News.
Oh, what'd you see?
The story was that some people in
I got really close to your face.
some people in Buffalo. There was like a group of friends that all had snowmobiles, and they went out like rescuing people that were stranded.
Oh, that's so awesome.
They said they saved like 50 people.
Wow.
That were stranded
in their cars or just without heat.
I don't know. It didn't really say. It was just kind of a little overview. It just said they saved 50 people.
Oh, good. Peter says they only got about 6 inches in his area, so that's good.
Oh, you're lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought that was a cool story.
There's a lot of people that got stuck in their cars, and people that got stuck in snowdrifts because you couldn't see where you're going. Like somebody died just because they couldn't find their way back into the house.
Did they really?
Yeah. So
yeah,
sad.
Supposedly some relative in my family this is probably like 50 years ago or something, but they used to talk about it, that some of the relatives lived on a farm, and one of the boys, I think, or a girl, I don't know. You know, some stories just really stick with you.
Yeah, I have no details.
Anyway.
They were in a farm, or maybe they were in the city.
Anyway, somebody went out to the barn to do something.
Hey, Peterson.
They went out to the barn to do something, and there was a blizzard going. And then when they came back to the house, they missed the house.
Oh, no.
And got lost and like died in the blizzard.
No.
Because they couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah, they used to talk about that. I don't know who it was. Some second cousin probably or something.
That'd be scary.
Yeah.
You know, Laura Ingalls almost got caught in a blizzard.
Really?
Yep. She and the school teacher and the other kids were headed straight out for the prairie.
Yeah.
And then I guess one of the boys knew what was going on, so he ran and was able to get somebody to stop him.
Oh.
So he saved them. He saved them quite a bit, actually. His name was Cap Garland, and so he saved the group of kids that were headed out to the prairie.
Oh, good. Good for him.
And then when they were all starving, they were snowed in for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
Then he made a harrowing flight out into the unknown with her husband-to-be Almanzo, and they went and
His name is Zaldama.
Zaldama, and they picked up grain from miles away from a farmer they knew who had a big store of it, and they brought it back to the community so they wouldn't starve to death.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Can you? Oh, now you're back. Okay. You just lost sound while we did our amazing stories of of Little House on the Prairie. Anyway, we were talking about people who got lost in blizzards, and I was talking about how Almanzo and Laura's childhood friend Cap Garland saved the whole community by going out and getting a whole wagon full of grain for a starving town.
Nice.
Actually, no, he didn't save the group of kids that was going out to the wide open. Actually, it was Laura that did save them, because she ran into the side of a building, and so then she was able to like scream out and alert everybody else. So so it was actually Laura that saved them.
Oh.
Yeah, he gave credit to the wrong person. But anyway, she saw him trudge off going to get help or something. So that's where I got that from.
Huh.
Didn't just make it up.
Sure. So what's everybody up to tonight?
Didn't Laura pass away just recently?
No.
It was
That was one of those false scams, hoaxes.
Laura?
Yeah.
Ingalls Wilder? Oh, Melissa Gilbert. Okay.
That's what you're talking about, right?
I was talking about Laura Ingalls Wilder.
There's no way. Shouldn't she have died like ages ago?
Yeah, that's not who this person's talking about. This person's talking about Melissa Gilbert, who played her.
Oh, somebody said that on there?
Yeah, didn't Laura pass away recently?
Yeah, I thought she did, because there was one of those hoaxes going around online that she had passed.
Yeah, Melissa
Apparently,
Gilbert.
that's a big thing nowadays. People like to make these hoaxes that celebrities have died, and they stir up a bunch of...
Yeah, because they just
big
want to
frenzy.
get a whole bunch of views on YouTube.
So yeah, I was suckered into it, and then I said something to somebody, and they're like, no, she's fine, she's alive. I was like, oh. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, it was the latest hoax.
Old Man King said, I didn't lose the sound, so he had to suffer through those stories twice.
Hey, Old Man King. Welcome to our late night walk on the prairie.
Peter says, I'm watching two people walk down the road.
Yeah, how bored are you?
You're not even really snowed in. You have no excuse.
Just imagine you're listening to like a PBS, or what do they call it, radio station.
NPR.
NPR. Just imagine you're listening to NPR. So you're not here for the view, because the view is not that wonderful.
We have to start talking like we're talking on NPR.
Welcome.
On the delicious dish.
Welcome to Delicious Dish. Tonight's guest is Pete Schweddy. Anyway, we're just happy we're enjoying this week's weather, because it's getting up in the low 50s during the day. Yay!
Yay!
For like a couple weeks there, it didn't get above freezing, and it's so miserable. And at night, it was getting down below zero a couple times. But the worst is when it's like 20 degrees during the day all day. You just don't want to do anything.
You gotta show people your Christmas hat. You got your... This was one of his presents from me, was the Sweden. You gotta put it more on your face so people can see it. Light this way. Turn, go like this. There we go. Now people can see the Sweden emblem. He's not Swedish, but I am, so he gets the Swedish cap.
We got it during a trip to Lindsborg, Kansas.
I like how you say Lindsborg.
Lindsborg. Lindsborg is like Kansas's little Swedish town. And it's super... Actually, there's a couple Swedish towns here, but that's like the biggest more touristy one. What's the other one called? There's another one up near us. That's just where they have the little shops. Scandia. Yeah, but Scandia is tiny. There's just some little shops.
There's some good antique shops there, though.
Yeah, it's not really that much of a Swedish feel, though. Just the name is. And they put up some little Swedish decor, but it's not.
There's a slamming guy that works there, and he'll deliver your table a half an hour away for you for free.
I like that when you say something important, you show me. Like, are you looking for a reaction?
Yeah.
Or something? Okay, try it again.
This is Craig Reacts. There's a guy that'll deliver your furniture for free. Thank you.
I don't know if you can see me when I shine the light.
Yeah, I can see. I can see you and from the phone.
Okay, I thought it might blind the camera.
No.
It's a pretty bright light.
So you guys looking forward to the new year? What 2023 has in store for y'all?
Real estate crash! Woo! Probably. We noticed that real estate's already plummeting everywhere.
Who knows? Because people keep saying that the economy is going to completely collapse in just a couple of weeks or whatnot, and we keep waiting and waiting, and it never does. Like,
well, it's happening now.
Maybe they'll take it like 2 more years to completely crash.
No, I told you I was looking at house prices in some of the big cities on the West Coast, and prices are dropping dramatically, like a lot.
Peterson says that it looks like a warm hat. Is it a warm hat?
It's a very nice warm hat. and then I got my hood over the hat, so it's extra warm.
You're set. There's the twinkly lights of Bellet.
One thing that people need to see is your hat. How cute is this?
Yeah, it's not really my hat, but
it's my hat.
Stuck wearing it because he wore his Sweden hat, so I didn't have a cap to wear.
But she's pretty cute in it. Cuter than me when I wear it, that's for sure.
I don't know.
You are. So just up ahead, we're coming up to Wildlife Row. There's a little section with some trees, and there's always something running across the road. Bunnies, raccoons, or squirrels mainly. But occasionally, you know, if you're lucky, you might see a coyote or a fox.
So what's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is...
more walks in the pitch black dark.
I haven't really thought about it a whole lot. I told you one recently. What was it? I was like, this is my New Year's resolution.
You keep saying you want to hunker down and make YouTube take off, but...
Yeah, I do want to dedicate more time to YouTube. Our goal is to make a living doing this, so...
Too Snowy says, any scorpions out there?
Oh yeah, South Dakota in the house. Any scorpions?
He said that we're going up to Critter Row.
Oh, no.
It's a little cold for them.
Are there any scorpions even in Kansas? I don't know.
I think so.
There might be. I know there's we saw something that I thought was pretty cool. Was that it was called like a Texas horned frog or toad or something. Remember we saw that at the lake? That was really cool. Really cool animal.
You know, the bigger and scarier looking the scorpion is, the less dangerous it is. I like his reaction.
I'm just here for the reaction.
Craig
shots.
reacts. React, Craig, react.
What? What? Well, I just think it's funny because whenever Corrine says something, she points the camera at me. So I said, I guess she's just looking for a reaction, because usually when you're talking, you would point the camera at yourself.
Okay, Peterson Farms also likes my hat.
Oh, nice.
They like both our hats.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite hats that you're wearing, because I like that you can snip it under your chin, so it keeps it nice and snug on you.
What's it called when you make hats?
Because I have a cone head, so if I don't snip it, then eventually over time hats all come off my head.
What's it called when you're a hat maker? What are you called?
A hat maker? A maker of hats?
There's a fancy name. I forgot.
I don't know. Somebody Google it. Or maybe one of you knows
they
it.
know. I bet they know. Billy's crying. Why are you so sad, Billy? He has a smiley crying face.
That's because he's laughing at us because we're stupid. Wow, I'm surprised we got so many people joining our walk tonight.
Must be the Latin word for scorpion.
There's a lot of bored people out there tonight, I guess. We appreciate you all.
I bet you know this, Billy, because you're fancy. You're a fancy pilot. So what's it called when you are a hat maker?
Do 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 do.
I saw Daryl and Josiel in town today.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Did you see his other brother, Daryl? You know, that's funny. We know two Daryls.
Billy says you could do a short of Craig reacting. Yeah, he could just do a whole bunch of those. Just Craig reacts. Craig reacts.
I actually have made a few
Milliner or Hatter. Okay, thank you, Peter.
What is it?
Milliner.
Milliner? I've never heard that in my life.
I was trying to think of it.
Huh.
Or it's not Hatter, it's Mad Hatter. A hat maker, I don't know.
You mad, bro?
That's Billy's guess. Well, they used to call them Mad Hatters because I guess there was some sort of glue that the hatters or milliners would use, and it would cause them to go a little crazy. There's also some paint that would cause painters to go crazy, so it wasn't Van Gogh's fault that he cut off his ear and sent it to his beloved.
But did you know, this is the little known fact, when he did that, when he cut off his ear and sent it to his beloved, you know what he said in the letter?
What?
It'd sure be nice to hear from you.
Peterson Farm says, we don't have a life. Yeah, none of us here do. Like, us walking, or you guys listening?
We're just walking down a dirt road, because what do we got to do?
Old Man King, or Peter says, this came from Wikipedia. And Out and About with Sam I Am said, Oregon Ducks beat North Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Are you from South Carolina? So are you happy about that? We're beavers. I'm a beaver believer. That's my school. Craig didn't go to a school in Oregon.
I'm a Titan.
He's a Californian.
I'm a Titan. See if you can figure out where the Titans are from.
Where's the doggy? The doggy's in his bin.
Here's a fun fact about the Titans.
Because he got plenty of exercise today, so we didn't feel like taking him.
My college was the Titans, and here's a fun fact.
We are the Titans, the mighty, mighty Titans.
They're actually, watch out, there's some little bumps in the road there. The Titan is actually an elephant. They call it the Titans, but their symbol is an elephant. And the reason they picked that mascot is because my college was the first, well, there was two colleges. I think the other one was like, I don't know, Berkeley or somewhere. But my college and one other college had the first intercollegiate elephant race. Whoa. So they had like people on the elephants and they raced them.
Oh, fun.
So it was the first.
They should continue that tradition.
I don't know if it was the first and the last. I'm not sure.
It probably ended with tragedy.
Yeah. But then, so that's why they chose that name, the Titans.
Sam says, just thought you transplanted Oregonians might like to know. Well, thank you. We do like to know about things like that.
Yeah.
And Marino's Mystery says, hello from Maine.
Oh.
And then Sam said, I think Kansas won today too.
They beat, I know they were playing Arkansas because I was in the store and I was listening to it on the radio over the store's little radio system. And if they beat them, they made a comeback, because when I was listening, I think they were down by like 16 points or something.
Oh.
To the pigs.
Razorbacks.
Razorbacks, just fancy pigs is all. It is.
Marino's Mysteries. Your handle should be Marino's Mysteries of Maine. Should be M&M.
Hey, Maine, the whole the northeastern states are our last place to visit in the lower 48.
They're the final frontier.
Yeah, I think there's 6 or 7 states up there I haven't been to any of the states up there above New York.
I want to go to the lighthouses in Maine, and
Yeah.
I want to see the inn that the show Newhart is based on in Vermont.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
We like to rewatch like old shows, which is how our dog got the name Higgins. But right now we're working our way through Newhart. And we're working our way back to you, babe. It's a pretty funny show. Well, the best character on there is Michael. Like,
oh yeah,
he just always has the best lines.
what was the name of the first best character? Because on the
Oh,
first
he
couple
was really good too.
couple
Yeah.
of seasons, there was this guy that ran the Minuteman Cafe, and he was hilarious. But he didn't make it to the third season, I think.
Yeah. I think he was just in. Did he even make the second? It seemed like he wasn't there very long. He was pretty funny too. I was surprised that they didn't keep him.
So Marina says we do have a couple of lighthouses left. And Peter says, I read a little further. A milliner makes women's hats, and a hatter makes men's hats. Oh.
Oh.
Hey, I totally didn't know that.
Huh. Interesting.
But I did know about the glue. Yeah, the whole Northeast. Fascinating place.
And who makes hats for all the other 46 genders?
What do you call
What do you
those?
call it? The Zadders and
The Zatters.
the Zilners and the what's it?
They make them for them.
That was so funny, that sketch. They were like, it was that Texas one, right? When they're like,
Yeah.
should we go talk to them? And they're like, by them, do you mean the two of them? Or is one of them called them? It's so funny.
The world has gone Mad Hatter.
I feel for school teachers that are now being forced to address kids by whatever gender they want. And there's like 40 some genders, so
Well,
how would a teacher
there's
even
some
remember?
hope in America because quite a few states are passing laws to ban any gender discussion in the classroom.
Yeah.
So that's good. Stop with the nonsense of confusing these poor little kids.
I know, it's horrible. But if you like to make fun, I think it was the Babylon Bee or somebody did a cartoon and they did that Who's on First, Laurel and Hardy, but they made it like transgender and they're like they's on first and them's on second. It was so funny. They did a real clever job of it.
Peter said, I had no idea until I looked it up. They have to identify with man or woman in order to buy a hat. Sam says, why do you walk so late at night? Well,
that's a fascinating question.
that's because during the day, when we
We're
can
doing
get stuff done, like we're always wanting to be productive. And then in the evening,
We're winding down.
Yeah. Some birds.
Oh, there's more.
There's a bunch of birds in the.
Well, it scared me. Like they all like started fluttering all at once.
So let's not disturb them. Like don't shine the light in them. Billy says there's 46 genders until you go for reassignments, and there's only 2 choices.
Yep, I've heard that.
Yeah, and how come there's only 2 choices for sizes of clothing?
Yeah. Yeah, imagine if this thing were pursued further, every store would have to have 46 departments.
Marino says bears don't run as fast at night, so that's why.
Good point.
And then Noodlehead77 says hello from Central Kentucky.
Oh, hey, Needlehead. Hey,
Noodlehead.
Noodlehead. Well, that's better than Needlehead. Hey, we were just in Kentucky. We went there to get some fried chicken. Just
We
kidding.
went to Paducah.
Yeah, we were in Paducah, Kentucky, and we went through a few other towns. But yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Everybody in Kentucky has a thick accent. We love it.
Yeah, I love places with accents because I was disappointed when we moved to Kansas because I thought they'd have accents. Hardly anybody has any kind of accent here. You know, you couldn't tell. You could transplant a Kansan to Oregon, and nobody would know they weren't from there.
Yeah, they're like from the news. They don't have interesting voices.
There are, you do occasionally run into people, like, I think it's more people that like work on farms and stuff here will kind of have a little accent, but not that much, and it's not that common. But yeah, we like the Kentucky accent. It's fun.
So we were just in northern Kentucky.
So Noodlehead, how did you find our little channel here? I'm always interested to know how people find us.
And he says, that's nice, big accent, LOL. I visited Lawrence, Kansas a few years ago. Love it. We love it too. Why do we love it?
Jayhawks!
No. Oh. Something more important
Hawaiian
than
food.
that. Yeah.
They have the best Hawaiian food around, which isn't saying a lot because it's the only Hawaiian food around. But it's really good.
Says, I think through Sheena.
Oh, the Ketovore, something like that.
Okay.
Sheena's Ketovore Life or something.
Yep.
Well, much appreciated.
Yeah, she's got a far-reaching range.
Tell her we thank her. Yeah, well, we appreciate it. And we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Our goal is to hit it by New Year's Day.
Yeah,
So
I bet we will.
Tell a friend about us.
We're going into the 90s now.
Yeah, tell a friend. I mean, where else can you go on a late night walk down a dirt road with a couple weirdos?
There's probably quite a few going on right now.
Only on Cornfed Life.
They give a smiley face. Sam says, I got here through Lazy Days Ahead, I think. Oh. You watch those people? Oh, those are the worst.
No, we love them.
Yeah.
But we call them lazy bums ahead. And fun fact, Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead is from our hometown of Roseburg, Oregon.
Yeah, it's not a big town. Yeah. It's only 25,000.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
And Peterson says we are driving to Nashville tomorrow morning.
The actual Nashville this time, or just the Peterson Farms Nashville?
Yeah, because they're in Indiana, Nashville.
Are you going to the legit Nashville?
I bet they are, because they're talking to Noodlehead from Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
And Billy says, people in Kansas says, hey, a lot that I have noticed.
Yeah,
hey,
no,
hey,
I'll give you this. Kansans do have like some different expressions that they'll use. So when I say they don't have an accent, I don't mean that they don't talk differently, because they do. Like they say, they have, like for one thing, they say supper. In Oregon, everybody calls it dinner, but everybody here says supper. Did you eat your supper?
How do you say noodle in Spanish?
Noodle?
Yeah.
It's fideo.
Fideo?
Fideo.
Fideo?
Yeah.
So Cabeza de Fideo?
Yep.
She wants to know, or he wants to know, I can't tell. I think it's a she. Can't tell because the little picture's so
which
small.
Which of the 46 genders are you?
Says, have you experienced any tornadoes out there?
No, unfortunately we have not. We would like to see one. We live out on the prairie though, where it's totally flat and you can see for like 1,000 miles. So storm watching is pretty fun out here. Like, man, you can see some cool storms. Not so much when they're on top of you, but a lot of times you go out at night and you scan the horizon and you'll see like a storm going on somewhere. And it's pretty neat to watch with all the lightning and craziness.
Nita says, say supper here in Kentucky. And Billy says, you say tortilla to say noodle in Spanish.
Tortilla.
And Noodle says, I am a female.
Well, don't blame us. We're looking at your
icon
on a tiny little phone. Yeah, because you have like a
really tiny little picture. Well, you didn't make it tiny, but my phone made it tiny. So I couldn't tell if you had your hair hanging down or if that was a vest or... Sorry.
Don't be misgendering people. They'll get really mad. Oh.
Has anyone ever called you a girl?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. When I had long hair, sometimes, like, not from the front, but sometimes people would see me from behind, and they'd say, like, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I'd turn around and go, "What?"
She says, "Is it the hat?" Yeah, I've been called a male in other chats too. Yes, long hair. Yeah, it's just we can't tell the long hair if it's part of your clothing or if it's the long hair. So that's what gets us.
But for Miss Noodlehead, if you ever go to Paducah, I'm not joking when I say this. I don't joke about food. I love food. There's a place called Doe's. It's right in downtown Paducah, and they have the best steak I've ever had in my life. Well, I had a steak sandwich,
yeah.
but it had like good strips, like
It
nice
was so
cuts of
good.
steak. And so here's a funny thing about me. I didn't really like steak until I discovered A1 sauce, because I always just thought steak didn't have a whole lot of flavor on its own. And this steak was so good, it didn't even need A1 sauce. I'm not joking. It was
Do Korean reacts. We've been doing Craig reacts out. React, Craig.
But the place is well known around the area because we ran into somebody later that day, and they were talking to us, and they said, like, "Oh, how's your day? How are you liking the town and stuff?" And I said, "Oh man, I'm having a great day," because I said I just had the best steak I've ever had in my life. And the lady goes, "Oh, was that from Doe's?" So I was like, "Wow, how did you know?" And they said, "Oh, they're famous for their steak."
And Peter says, "I've never seen a tornado, but I've been close to a few." And Noodlehead says, "I'm a major tomboy. How does that fit in?" A lot of women or girls are. So
This girl,
it means that you're normal.
this girl here doing all the talking, she's a tomboy. In fact, it got to where I don't like to play basketball with her because I end up with way too many bruises. Because she plays dirty.
What? Would I do that? I wouldn't do that.
She throws elbows and punches and whatever.
Hey, you're tough. You can take it. Needlehead says, "I love steak. I will check it out. Thanks for the tips." Sam says, 3 years ago, my hair was down to my butt. I wore it in a braided ponytail until the hair dried. Then it was naturally curly. Man at Walmart, "Excuse me, ma'am." I went straight to the barbershop.
Oh. Yeah,
Weren't you like...
That's hardcore. I had hair about halfway down my back. But
weren't you reffing and then you made the mistake there?
Oh, yeah. So I was reffing. I was a soccer referee. And there was this one team, like half of the team had long hair. And this was younger kids, like 11 or 12, so before they have like facial hair and stuff. It was like, I think it was junior high or something. And it was a boys league. So I walked up and said, like, because, the refs go and meet the teams before the game. And I said, like, "Hey, fellas." And then, like, they all turned around, and it looked like half the team was girls. And so I said, "Oh, and girls." And one of the kids goes, "We're all boys." And I was and it was funny because I had my two assistant refs with me, and as we were walking away, they were like, "I swore half those were girls too." So it wasn't just me. But here's the thing. I think, like, boys should not grow long hair until they're able to grow facial hair.
Right.
Because if you don't have facial hair and you're a little boy, you probably look somewhat effeminate, like most little boys do, because they're not men yet. So it's a bad combination if you're already effeminate looking and then to have long hair. You just look like a chick.
Billy wants to know how we like our steak. I like it well done. Crispy, crunchy charcoal.
I like it medium. So just a little bit of blood for me.
Billy says I would have went straight to the scissor section of that store. And then Sam says, "What's the lights down the road?" Oh, that's part of the farm next door.
And that's the town off there.
Yeah, those are the town lights of Beloit.
Beloit. It's about 10 miles away.
And then these are just lights of our neighbor
Yeah,
farm.
that's like their livestock light for their like livestock barn or something.
Peter, all right, Peter. He says, well done for me. Noodle said, mullets were the thing when I was in high school for the guys. Mullets should live on forever.
Heck yeah. Business in the front, party in the back. Well, it's funny because mullets have, over the recent years, they've made comebacks. Because, like Cristiano Ronaldo, who's like one of the best soccer players in the world, he was sporting a mullet for quite a while.
Really?
And he's like a multi-millionaire. And he was rocking a mullet for
Oh, what was that guy? Agassi?
Agassi.
Agassi.
Andre Agassi.
Yeah. He was the tennis playing mullet guy.
Yeah.
He had a cool mullet though, because it was really spiky on the top.
Yeah, he was awesome back in the day.
Yeah.
That was back in my childhood, like in the 80s.
He dated Brooke Shields.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's really cool.
Anybody's cool if they date Brooke Shields.
Yeah. And play tennis. I guess
Yeah.
tennis used to be popular, and then skiing instead of like snowboarding or anything.
Yeah,
It's like,
tennis used to be cool because they had like all these cool characters. Like, there's not a lot of cool characters in tennis nowadays. I mean, there's great players, but they're not all wild. And then like,
So,
what was the one
Vanessa
that was like?
Williams.
What was the
I
one
guess
that
all
was
the cool players are the women nowadays.
the one that would like cuss and throw his racket? and
Oh
stuff?
yeah. I don't remember his name.
They still like have. They made a commercial about him not that long ago where he was like acting like his former self. Was it McEnroe? John McEnroe?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
John McEnroe.
Billy said, I like my steak pulled off the heat at exactly 119 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature.
Wow, that is
And,
very precise.
Yeah, Sam I Am says, Joe Dirt Bullet.
Oh yeah.
And Frontier Survival says, hello everyone.
Hey, Frontier Survival.
And-
Where are you reporting in from tonight?
Hey, you were born, Noodlehead said I was born in 77. We probably could tell that by her name, Noodlehead 77.
I was
But-
born in 76.
I was born in 79. So who was born in 1978 here?
Yeah, we could get a whole series going here. Get a royal flush.
Frontier says Kentucky. Well, Noodlehead
Oh.
is in Kentucky.
We got two Kentuckians. We were just earlier talking about our recent trip to Kentucky. We went to Paducah and spent the night, and then we did a little exploring around just around Western Kentucky, and really liked it. Beautiful countryside there, very pretty. And the reason we're talking about steak is because we were saying we went to a place called Doe's, and they had the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Frontier was born in 74.
Oh, hey.
And Needlehead said, not quite. More like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, man, now that was a mullet, too.
Frontier says, East Kentucky for me. And Dwayne is from East Kentucky as well. He would talk to us. Like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not here right now, but
Well, tell him to get his butt in here.
you need to go to Mount Sterling because it has a sordid history of my past. Not really my past, but my ancestors' past. Peter says, I guess I'm old. 71 for me. Ooh, that's why he's the old man king.
Hey, that's funny, though, that we're all like 70s babies.
Billy said 75.
No way.
74, 75, 76. We still don't have a 78. Come on, people.
And then Corinne's 79. That's
Yeah.
so funny that everybody in the chat is 70s babies, or at least most of you.
That's what we do late at night. All the people from the 1970s. Sam says, just after midnight here in South Carolina, so I'm off to bed. Aw. Got work in the morning, so if you ever come to South Carolina, I'll take you to the world famous Beacon Drive and restaurant.
Oh, that sounds
Google
nice.
it. He said emphatically, Google it.
You know, we just were in South Carolina. What it was like in the
Couple
end of
months
summer.
ago.
It was like it was October, I think it was. September or October.
That was November. Well, I don't
No.
know. I don't know.
I think it was October.
Well, anyway, we were there for a hot minute.
Yeah, we were just on our way to Florida because a friend of ours, our old pastor from Oregon, bought a vacation rental in Florida, and he gifted us a free stay. So we boogied on down to Florida, and we went through South Carolina briefly because we wanted to see it.
Frontier says, I am 45 minutes away from Mount Sterling. And Needlehead said, what month? October for me. My boyfriend was born January 78. Marina says, wow, you people are young. And Frontier says, hey, Noodlehead.
Hey, I like it when people call me young because I certainly do not feel
Yeah, none of us here in the chat feel young, so we all appreciate that, Marina.
young. You can hang out with us anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, when you hit 40, stuff stops working as well as it should, like your brain.
Your mouth. Sam says, don't forget to hit thumbs up. Good night, everybody. Good night, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for being in part of our walk. Have a good night.
Frontier says, knocking on the door of 50. Needle says, childhood nickname since 5 years old. Noodlehead.
Did that have something to do with a hairstyle you were rocking?
Maybe she just liked noodles.
And she liked to put them on her head? Or maybe somebody in the cafeteria
wear spaghetti on her head.
Maybe somebody dumped a plate of spaghetti on her head and that became her nickname?
Yeah. I think I had some childhood pictures of noodles on my head. I think that's how all little kids used to eat spaghetti. It's funny that people are like, what are you doing walking around late at night? Imagine what our neighbors think. Because, like, nobody out here even goes for walks.
Yeah, nobody.
Let alone, like, at night.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody going for a walk out by where we live. It's all like farmland. So, they probably are working hard on their farms all day. So why would they go for a walk?
Frontier says this live stream walk is an interesting concept. Indeed, indeed.
We always, if you follow our channel, you'll find out we do a lot of random weird things, spur of the moment. We don't usually plan ahead, so you just have to kind of get lucky or unlucky and spot us. We do. We've done a few storm chases where we'll just decide to get in a car and chase a big storm, and sometimes we'll do lives walking around town. But I just always think like a lot of the lives I watch are just like two people sitting in their living room. So I always think, and we've done those too. We've done lives where we're just sitting there, but I think sometimes it's more fun to get out and do something. So people that are watching, it's not the same scene the whole time. That
way you guys are exercising by proxy too.
Yeah.
And Marina says there's a picture floating around of me with a lobster on my head.
Well, that sounds interesting. I'd like to see that.
Frontier says that's the way it should be, my friends. Needle says, not sure why I got the name. My aunt's boyfriend just looked at me and said, Christy Kirk Noodlehead. My first name is Christy.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, Christy. Is it Christy with a K or a C?
Yeah. And Kirk is with a K as well.
Oh, nice.
I hope your middle name isn't with a K.
Oh, no, if that's the case, you better get married real quick. Or change it. Did you hear something?
Oh, no.
What?
It's Jesse.
No.
He says, hello, you kiddos.
It's lazy bums ahead.
Billy says, cool, I'm staying fit by osmosis.
Exactly.
So, well, we know that half of you guys are sleeping too, so.
What are you up to tonight, Mr. Jesse?
Needle says, my sister did dump a bowl of cereal on my head. Middle name is Renee. Okay, that's good. That's good. Your parents did not hate you.
Renee's a nice name. I always like that name.
Yeah.
Plus, that's the name of Kermit the Frog in French.
Renee.
René. That's Kermit the Frog. He's the frog Renee. I think it's the same in Spanish, too.
Renee.
I think it's the same in Spanish and French.
We have a friend in Oregon named Renee, and she's crazy. She's crazy fun.
She's insane.
Yeah, we love her.
She's not from Oregon. She's from
Minnesota.
Minnesota. But she did live there. I think they lived in Oregon, right, for a time
Yeah,
before
they lived
Minnesota.
up on the coast, I guess.
We don't pay attention.
Yeah,
They're
they're
just our
telling
close
us
friends.
all these like terrible stories about living next to a murderer.
Oh my goodness.
It was like they were like, why are you telling us this? Give us nightmares.
And they were friends with him, and they thought he was nice.
Yeah.
Until he
And
started murdering people.
yeah, Jesse says we are just doing exactly what we want. Nothing. Sounds good.
Well, you have to do nothing often if you're gonna, carry out the meaning of lazy days ahead.
Yeah.
If you're always doing stuff, then you're gonna have to get a new name.
Nito says such an informative channel, just full of knowledge. I don't think any of it is correct.
It's full of something. Well, hey, if you want knowledge, Mr. Lazy Days Ahead is a fountain of trivia. He's always got the latest trivia.
Old Man King says, isn't it past your bedtime, Jesse? It's probably past your bedtime, Peter, because you're an hour ahead of us. And Noodle says, I am a storm chaser. Well, can't chase too much in Kentucky, too hilly and woody. Yeah, Kansas is a good place to chase storms. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And also, like, a lot of people here on YouTube will watch your storm chase and tell you which direction to go and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. It's tons of fun with all the people on YouTube, too.
Yeah, plus Kansas gets some insane storms.
Yeah, we would start one of those storm chases, and we'd end up, like, driving around for, like, 4 hours or so. Are you doing Craig Reacts?
I'm acting it out. Kareen likes, I said this earlier, but for the new people, Kareen likes to make a statement and then put the camera on me. So I assume she wants some sort of reaction or something.
I do.
I don't really know why she points it at me.
Billy says lazy for me is when I have less than 6 projects going on. LOL.
Ugh, that's too many projects.
That's about right for us too, though. Frontier said, had a devastating tornado in 2012 in my hometown in Kentucky. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I never really thought of Kentucky and tornadoes, but I was doing some research and I found out they have had a bunch. I always just think of tornadoes as like flatlands like Kansas and Texas and, parts of like Missouri, South Dakota, Oklahoma. Mostly I think of Oklahoma when I think of tornadoes.
Old Man King says, I was up until 4 a.m. Monday morning, finished my live at 1, then watched 2 more lives. Needle says, West Liberty, devastating, March 2nd. Frontier says, all built back better than ever, just like Biden built back. Yes.
I thought of something.
Jesse was saying that there's sunflowers in every county in Kansas.
Hey, did you ever think about this? Biden's program is Build Back Better. And if you do that
Better Business Bureau?
No,
What?
if you do that lowercase BBB, what does that look like?
666. Oh, I never thought of that before.
It's the Build Back program of the Antichrist.
Oh, no. I didn't know this.
That's why you watch this channel. You won't,
so you guys are informed.
You won't hear that anywhere else. I don't know. Somebody else probably thought of it too.
Mayfield, Kentucky got wiped off the map December 10th, 2021. So not long ago. Oh, yeah. Mayfield is like right. Isn't that right next to Paducah? I think it was.
We went to another town. What was that called? Like Elliotteville or something? Or
it started with a B.
Eddyville?
Didn't it start with a B?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Bentonville?
No. That's Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
That's where Walmart is.
Oh, okay. We went to Harrison, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize it was supposed to be the most racist town in America. And we didn't realize it was that one. I had watched a YouTube program about somebody visiting there, and they found out that it was a black man that visited, and he said he was from the BBC, and he kind of fooled the head of the KKK into doing an interview with him, and he kind of he made fun of the head dragon or whatever his name is, and got shooed off the property, but he made a real fool out of that guy. But what the people of Harrison said was, no, we're not racist. It's just this group of people that live in a town outside of Harrison that give us the bad rap, and they have all these silly billboards there. We saw one of them.
They probably said, no, we're not racist. We hate everyone equally.
Yeah. 666 is 33333. Ooh, that must be really bad.
Is that Jesse?
That's Billy.
Billy?
And it just said the official state motto of Kansas is he's doing that trivia thing.
Ad astra per aspera,
Yeah.
bro.
It's ad astra per tributum. Tributa?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that shirt, Jesse. I made a shirt because when we first moved to Kansas, what surprised us was how many stinking taxes there are here. They tax everything to death. So I made my own t-shirt, and it says ad astra per tributa, which means to the stars through taxes. Because I said that's more accurate, because it's supposed to be to the stars through toil, but
oh, you'll be happy to learn this. The honeybee was named the official state insect of Kansas in 1976. That is his birth year.
I didn't even know states had an official insect.
Kansas is a hot spot for pool players.
Ooh.
Kansas also named a state amphibian in 1994, and it's the barred tiger salamander.
Well, of course. What else is it going to be?
Salamander.
What a funny name, too, salamander.
What's our state bird? It's the same one as like every state.
What, like the meadowlark or
yep,
something?
It's the
Is it really?
Yep.
Wasn't that Oregon's?
Yeah.
Huh.
They should do the pheasant, even though it's from Asia.
Yeah. Pheasants are beautiful.
The ring-necked pheasant out here is so pretty.
Or they should do some sort of owl. They got some really cool owls here.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen so many owls as I have in Kansas.
Or eagles.
Because
eagles.
Eagle powers. Oregon has lots of owls, but you don't hardly ever see them because they're in the woods and they just come out at night. But Kansas, they'll come out before dark often, and sometimes you'll just see them sitting on a bale of hay in the middle of a field. But I've seen more owls since moving here than I have probably my entire life prior to that.
Nita says
like
the cardinal is the state bird of Kentucky. I think where did I see a bunch of cardinals? Was that in Arkansas? It was in Arkansas, actually. I saw tons of them just like a week ago. Saw tons of cardinals. I love cardinals. React more. React like a bird.
I was trying to flap my wings, but I can't point the flashlight and flap
I
my
love
wings.
cardinals. It's so beautiful, especially because we didn't have any from Oregon, our original state. Jesse says the state animal for Kansas is the American buffalo.
Buffalo.
Western meadowlark. Yep.
Well, what's
largest ball of twine in Cocker City, for having important sites during the Civil Rights Movement and the Civil War. This is the start of the Civil Wars from Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas likes to start things.
It's the home of Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
And the world's largest painting on an easel. It was here that women gained the right to vote before the country did. It's also the setting for the Wizard of Oz. Where's the Wamego? Is that the place where the Wizard of Oz museum is? We went to. It was pretty awesome. I loved it.
And also, Kansas is apparently a place where you're sent as a punishment. So we were watching this movie. What was that called? The Korean War movie that we saw in the theater.
Perseverance or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a movie that was just in the theaters not long ago, and it was about the Korean War. And it was so funny because this guy was like disobeying orders or something, and this guy goes, "If you keep it up, we're gonna have you behind a desk in Topeka." And we got a few laughs in the theater because we're like, "Oh, I guess being sent to Kansas is some form of punishment."
And Noodle has something real interesting to say. She said we had an owl resting on our windowsill a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Never had that happen before. We have a lot of hawks. A lot of hawks here too because they're eating all these mice from the fields.
So many hawks.
Yep.
It's crazy. And
this is a night hawk right here.
And we learned about night hawks.
We learned that night hawks aren't even hawks.
But they are very cool. We kept hearing these birds making this like most bizarre noise. And we were like, what are these weird birds? And we looked it up, found out they're night hawks. And they make this cool noise. They'll fly up, up, up really high. And then they'll dive really fast. And the wind hits their feathers in such a way that it makes this really weird noise. It's like woo. Here, you want me to do that again? It's like this. Woo. And when you hear it, you're like, what is making that noise? Like you see these birds, but you're like, how can they do that? But something to do with their feathers and the way the wind hits it. And they're so cool.
What's your favorite bird,
I gotta say the owl.
Yeah.
I just love owls. They're just so unique looking.
I'm going to say beautiful. Eagle Powers is my favorite. Eagle Powers.
Yeah, eagles are definitely cool. But I just think owls are the most unique looking bird. Like nothing looks like an owl. And I mean, they're not all so beautiful. There's different types of owls, but some of them are just absolutely gorgeous and majestic. And I remember I was at a bird show one time with this gal, and they had a couple birds. They actually had a bald eagle, and then they had I think it was a great horned owl, whatever the biggest species is.
I think the great horned owl is the biggest.
You could go up there.
No, it's not. It's not.
And you could go up there and look at them up close. They were on stands. They weren't in cages, but they told you don't touch them. And I remember looking at the eagle and the owl, and I was much more frightened of the owl. It looked like that thing could just eat me if it wanted to.
Night owls talk about night hawks. I love this channel. That's because you were born in the 70s.
Yeah.
People born in the 70s all like the same thing.
Gen X. Well, we should just call this the Gen X Hangout.
Yep.
No millennials allowed.
Okay, people. We've come to our end of our time together. Now you guys go back and...
to the end of the dirt road.
You guys go and brush your teeth and get ready for bed. Thank you guys for joining us. It's always a blast when you help us in anything that we're doing.
Yeah, and it's fun to meet new folks and find out where they're from and all that good stuff. So we appreciate you making our walk more interesting. Because otherwise I just have to listen to her and it's not that fun. I've already heard all of her stories.
Yeah, Noodlehead, tag us. Tag our channel on the video and then we'll have a look-see at it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody. God bless.